The Panama Canal is dying, and the world is scrambling to replace it. For over a century, this 82-kilometer waterway has been the circulatory system of global commerce, moving 5% of all maritime trade, generating nearly $5 billion annually, and saving ships from a brutal 12,000-kilometer journey around South America. But in 2024, something unprecedented happened. The canal ran out of water. Ships stacked up in week-long queues. Freight costs exploded by 400%. For the first time since opening in 1914, the world began asking a question nobody had seriously considered. What happens when the Panama Canal can no longer do its job? From Mexico's $7.5 billion railway to Nicaragua's audacious $64.5 billion mega-canal dream, countries across the Americas are racing to capture a piece of the $270 billion in annual cargo that flows through this chokepoint. This is the battle to replace one of the most strategic trade routes on Earth, and the winner will reshape global commerce for generations. The engineering marvel that changed the world. When the Panama Canal opened in August 1914, it fundamentally altered global trade overnight. Before its construction, ships traveling between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans faced a grueling choice: sail 12,000 kilometers around Cape Horn through the treacherous Strait of Magellan, adding weeks to every voyage, or attempt the Northwest Passage at the top of the Americas, blocked by ice most of the year. Both options were dangerous, expensive, and slow. In 1902, the United States proposed an audacious solution: blast straight through Central America, creating a shortcut that would revolutionize maritime commerce. The engineering challenge was staggering. Workers used dynamite, drills, and steam-powered shovels to move over 200 million cubic meters of earth, enough to fill nearly 80,000 Olympic swimming pools. The biggest technical obstacle: a nearly 30-meter elevation difference between the highest and lowest points. Engineers solved this by designing an ingenious lock system, massive chambers that could raise and lower ships like aquatic elevators. The human cost was devastating. Nearly 6,000 workers died from heat stroke, rock slides, and tropical diseases like malaria and yellow fever. The financial cost: $375 million in $1,904, equivalent to approximately $122 billion today. When the first ship passed through in August 1914, it immediately became one of the most important strategic assets on Earth. By the end of that first year, 1,000 ships had already made the crossing. Today, more than a century later, the canal handles 38 ships daily in normal conditions, carrying everything from American grain and liquefied natural gas to Asian electronics and South American commodities. For Panama, the canal isn't just infrastructure. It's the foundation of the national economy, the water crisis that changed everything. At the heart of the Panama Canal lies Gatun Lake, a massive artificial reservoir that provides the fresh water needed to operate the lock system. Every single ship transit drains tens of millions of gallons of water, which then flows irreversibly out to sea. In 2024, Gatun Lake fell to its lowest level in 60 years following one of the most severe droughts in modern history. The canal was forced to make devastating cuts. Daily transit slashed from 38 ships down to just 24. Large vessels ordered to carry reduced cargo due to draft restrictions. Efficiency collapsed. The global impact was immediate and brutal. Freight rates on certain routes surged by up to 400% as companies scrambled for alternatives or waited weeks for transit slots. Ships formed massive queues visible from satellite imagery, floating traffic jams representing billions in delayed commerce. By mid-2025, heavy rains brought temporary relief. Water levels partially recovered. Today, the canal operates at approximately 32 transits daily, but strict draft limits remain in place, meaning ships still cannot carry full loads. More troubling, climate models predict droughts will become more frequent and more severe. The 2024 crisis may not have been an anomaly, it may have been a preview. For global shipping, this represents existential uncertainty. For rival nations, it represents once-in-a-century opportunity. Mexico's 7.5B railway gambit. Mexico's solution is among the most advanced alternatives currently under development. Instead of digging a competing canal, Mexico is constructing a 308-kilometer railway linking the Gulf of Mexico at Coatzacoalcos to the Pacific Ocean at Salina Cruz. The concept: Ships dock on one coast, containers are unloaded and transported by train across Mexico's narrowest point, then reloaded onto different ships on the opposite coast. Total investment, approximately $7.5 billion. Target capacity, 1.4 million TEUs, 20-foot equivalent units annually by 2033. Sections of the railway are already operational, and Mexico is aggressively marketing the route as a faster alternative when Panama becomes congested. The advantages are real. When the Panama Canal experiences delays, Mexico's interoceanic corridor can move cargo across the isthmus faster than ships can transit the congested waterway. But there's a fundamental limitation. Unlike a continuous canal where ships sail straight through, the Mexican system requires unloading, land transport, and reloading, adding time, complexity, and points of failure. It's faster than waiting weeks outside Panama, but it's not a perfect replacement for seamless ocean-to-ocean transit. Still, with infrastructure already operational and proving viable during Panama's crisis, Mexico has positioned itself as the most realistic, near-term alternative. Colombia's ambitious rail vision. Further south, Colombia is studying its own rail-based solution. A 240-kilometer railway connecting the Pacific port of Cupica to Turbo on the Caribbean coast. Estimated cost, $713 billion. The project is part of Colombia's broader strategy to reactivate over 1,800 kilometers of national railway infrastructure that has fallen into disrepair over decades. But the challenges are formidable. The proposed route cuts directly through sensitive rainforest ecosystems and indigenous territories, raising environmental and social concerns that could delay or derail the project entirely. Consultation with indigenous and Afro-Colombian communities is mandatory under Colombian law, a process that typically takes years and often results in significant route modifications or project cancellations. Critics argue the government should focus on upgrading existing rail infrastructure rather than carving new routes through protected areas. Supporters counter that technical studies show construction requirements are manageable and that the strategic benefits justify the investment. For now, the project remains in feasibility study phase with no construction timeline established. Nicaragua's 64.5B mega-canal dream. The most audacious proposal comes from Nicaragua, a mega-canal designed to surpass Panama in every dimension. The Nicaragua Canal would stretch 278 kilometers, more than 3 times longer than Panama's 82-kilometer route. Estimated cost, $64.5 billion. The proposed locks are enormous, 510 meters long, 77 meters wide, and 27 meters deep, vastly larger than Panama's locks and capable of handling the world's biggest container ships without restriction. On paper, it's a direct challenge to Panama's century-long dominance. But the project has been plagued by catastrophic setbacks. Financial collapse. The main backer, Chinese billionaire Wang Jing and his company Kend Group, withdrew support in 2018 after losing billions in China's stock market crash. No replacement funding has materialized. Environmental devastation. The route would slice directly through Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest freshwater source, threatening ecosystems and water supplies for millions. Social displacement. Tens of thousands of people would be forcibly relocated, raising human rights concerns and potential international legal challenges. Today, the Nicaragua Canal exists only as survey markers and a few access roads. Construction never truly began. The Nicaraguan government occasionally revives discussion, proposing alternative routes, but without credible funding or environmental approval, it remains a grand vision gathering dust. Other contenders in the race. Several smaller-scale alternatives are emerging. Panama's own land bridge, a rail and truck corridor designed to move containers without using Gatun Lake's water. Target capacity, 5 million containers annually by 2045. This would serve as backup during droughts or peak demand. Honduras Interoceanic Railway, proposed line linking Amapala on the Pacific to Puerto Castilla on the Caribbean, with support from Chinese trade agreements. Still in early planning. The Northwest Passage. Climate change is slowly opening this Arctic route, the shortest distance between Pacific and Atlantic. But it remains seasonal and dangerous with unpredictable ice conditions, making it unsuitable for mainstream commercial shipping, at least for now. Each represents different approaches to the same problem. Reducing dependence on a single, vulnerable choke point. How Panama plans to fight back. Panama isn't surrendering its strategic asset without a fight. The Panama Canal Authority has launched a $1.6 billion project to construct a new dam on the Indio River, creating a reservoir designed to stabilize water supply and guarantee at least 36 daily transits even during severe droughts. Expected completion: 2030-2031. The canal has also implemented operational improvements. New booking system limiting each customer to 1 slot daily, reducing congestion. Newer locks using 7% less water per transit, critical savings during dry periods. Enhanced water conservation measures showing positive results. Financially, the canal remains extraordinarily profitable despite the crisis. 2024 revenue, $4.99 billion, net profit, $3.45 billion, an 8% increase over previous year. These numbers demonstrate that even operating under drought restrictions, the canal generates massive returns. For Panama, the investments send a clear message: we're defending our position as the world's shortcut between oceans. The 270B question. The race to replace the Panama Canal has begun, but the winner remains unclear. Mexico's railway, $7.5 billion invested, 1.4 million container capacity by 2033, already partially operational, the nearest term viable alternative. Colombia's railway, $13 billion estimated, still in feasibility studies, facing environmental and social obstacles. Nicaragua's mega-canal, $64.5 billion required, currently stalled with no funding, massive environmental concerns unresolved. Panama itself, investing $1.6 billion to secure water supply, maintaining profitability, defending its crown. The fundamental question: will any challenger actually succeed? Or will Panama adapt and maintain dominance through the next century? For more than 100 years, this narrow waterway has been the world's gateway between oceans. As climate pressures intensify and competitors emerge, its next chapter is being written, and it will reshape global commerce for decades to come. Which contender do you think has what it takes to win this $270 billion race? Share your thoughts in the comments below. The future of global trade isn't just coming, it's being built right now. Subscribe for more mega infrastructure stories that are reshaping our world. Thanks for watching.